Hi guys, how are you? Mr. Elam here. We're going to go over the next assignment, which is going to be pow balance design. Okay, we're going to be talking about what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be creating three pieces of artwork. You're going to be creating the basic types of balance. There are three basic types of balance. There's radial, symmetrical slash formal balance, asymmetrical slash informal balance. You're going to be asked to create each of those designs. You're going to be creating a radial balance, a symmetrical and asymmetrical. You guys understand? Okay. So with that being said, you guys are going to be doing that. You'll be using colored pencil to create your work. Each of the pieces needs to be 8 inches, 8 by 8 inches or larger. That's a square, 8 inches. We can cut it. Subject matter can be of the student's choosing. It can be representational. It can be abstract. It can be based on line and shape, or a touch of both, as long as it meets other guidelines and is school appropriate. The technical stuff, the technical criteria that I'm going to be looking for in your artwork: good composition and layout of the designs and drawings. Artworks show good contrast of both value-wise and color-wise. Students are showing shading and blending in the artworks, showing both value changes and prismatic changes. Go back and watch your colored pencil tutorial. That will help. And I would see those transitions and blends and changes with as little transition lines as possible. Artwork should show good use of color, paying attention to whatever color palette you're choosing to use, like a specific range of color or certain number of colors that work well together. Don't just go throwing a crap ton of colors in there. Used in the design and colors, and make sure the colors are bold in places so that if you don't have just soft colors, it's not just flat. Have bold colors, soft colors, that sort of thing. What I want to do is I want to do examples of each of the types of balance, okay? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to create these little squares. This is what I'm going to do the designs in, just to show you quickly what the designs are going to look like. Okay, so let's do 3 boxes. When you're talking about balance, you're talking about a visual weight, how visual weight is distributed in a piece of artwork. Okay, there are 2 invisible lines that go through your picture plane. Okay, these are called lines of symmetry. Lines O symmetry. Okay, they act as balances, as weights. Okay, so you've got these lines of symmetry. There are three basic forms of balance. There is radial, symmetrical slash formal, asymmetrical slash informal. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about is I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to go with. Start out with radial. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Radial. We're going to start out with radial balance, also known as radial balance. Okay. I'll set that right here, or let's put him up here. Radial balance. Radial balance is a rotating around a center point. It also creates equal parts any way you fold it. If I were to fold it this way, this side would be the same as this side. If I were to fold it up and down, this side's going to be the same as that side, okay? So when you are creating a radial design, okay, what you're going to be doing is you have these two lines of symmetry. You're using both lines of symmetry to act as a balance, okay? So 1 and 2. Now, if you put in a break, when you are using both lines of symmetry, it sort of breaks up your picture plane into 4 quadrants or 4 sections. If you put a line in one section, you've got to put the line in all the other sections. If you put a shape in one section, you have to put the shape in the other section. Same thing with if you put that shape in there, put that shape. What happens is it balances everything out. Maybe I want to put another shape here. You start to see that come out. Maybe you want a line that comes here, then you know it has to be there, there, and there. Okay? So that's breaking that up into 4 quadrants. Each section, and this is radiating from the center. This side is going to be the same as this side if I were to fold it over. Same as the top and the bottom. That creates a radial balance. Okay? That is one of the pieces you're going to create. All right? Now, the next piece is symmetrical balance, aka formal balance. Okay? Formal balance designs. Formal balance designs are basically using one line of symmetry to act as a balance, okay? If it folds one way, if I folded it from this way to this side is going to be equal to that side. But if I were to fold it from the top to the bottom, this is not the same. So what we're looking at, let's go with symmetrical / formal. Okay, we've got those 2 invisible lines coming through the top and the bottom, or through the center horizontally and vertically. We're just going to use one, okay? It only uses one line of symmetry, where radial uses 2, okay? So it's actually broken your picture plane into 2 parts, this side and this side. If I put a line here, I have to put the line here as well. If I put this line there, it's got to follow through and make that line there. Maybe I bring another line here and here. Maybe I bring in shape. Maybe I want a circle here. Circle here. When you're creating your designs, you can make it just use shape if you want. If you want to make it look like a thing, you can. You just need to focus that you are using these different types of balances. So with symmetrical balance or formal balance, I've broken the picture plane into 2 sides. If I put one object on one side, I have to put it on the other. Okay? Now, we're going to come to our last one. Asymmetrical balance, aka informal balance. Okay? Now with this, what you're dealing with, we're going to write that down. Asymmetrical / informal. That's a little unfancy, but you know, what you gonna do? Now we've got informal. Now, if radial uses 2 lines of symmetry and symmetrical formal uses 1 line of symmetry, how many lines of symmetry do you think that asymmetrical / informal designs use? The answer is 0. It uses 0 lines of symmetry. And you ask yourself, well, what does that look like? What that sort of looks like is like this, okay? Or nothing matches up. If I fold it this way, this side doesn't match this side. If I were to fold it this way, the top does not match the bottom. Does it have flow? Yes. Does it still work? Yes. But it has no balance. So you could basically create whatever you want to in your design. It doesn't have to match up. You can put whatever you want in there. Ooh, I'm just making stuff up right now. And that's what's nice about art, because you can just make stuff up. That's the beauty of it, folks. You create your own world, you create your own thing. So that's what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with creating a radial design. We're going to be working with creating a symmetrical formal design. And we're going to be working with creating an asymmetrical design. Okay? So that's how we're going to work with that. Now, when you are coloring it, and you can see in the three examples that I gave you, the radial, you can see that people are using their colored pencils. They're showing value changes. This isn't really bold, but the yellow is very bold. The other colors are very soft, but they're also getting value changes and prismatic changes. You know, they're changing the orange into the yellow. They're actually letting that blend. I want to see some colors blend like that. I want to see that blending. Um, Same thing with this. You know, there are some flat colors with this purple. There's some good prismatic color changes going through the yellow and the orange. And even in this purple here, they've got the purple, the blue going into the purple. And they've got greens and stuff. So they're actually working that way. Same thing with this little guy. You know, there's value changes here, just getting the gray coming through. There's value changes here, just making the blue darker and lighter in some places. You know, that's what you need to play around with. So what you need to make sure you're doing is that you go over your colored pencil tutorial, and that you go over this and understand what you need to do, what you are making. Now, each one of these, this is the size, this is 8 by 8, okay? You can cut down your paper to 8 by 8. These are 9 by 9. You could cut them up, cut a regular piece of 9 by 12 paper down to a square. You could use 9 by 12 pieces of paper if you don't want to cut anything down. But those are your options. So, if anybody has any questions, please get a hold of me. Talk to me, and we will work everything out. All right? Thanks, guys. This has been Balanced Design. Whoop, whoop. Keep an eye out for the handout on Classroom.